We can move on and start to create another asset. I think we have to focus now on that arm that's going to cast the shadow. Let's go to our pre-comps. Let's create a new composition, and I can keep the size as it is. It's good for now, and let's rename it to the clock arm. So we're going to use again a shape layer to create the arm. Under the shape options, let's choose the polygon tool. While I'm creating a shape, I'm still holding the mouse down. I can change the number of sides by using the arrow up or down buttons. You have to just make sure that you still hold the mouse down while changing the number of the sides. And while still holding the mouse down and creating the shape, also press down a shift key. That way the triangle will be perfectly positioned on the right angle. So the basic shape of the triangle is created. We have things to tweak. First of all is the position of the triangle, and then the gradient. So I'm going to go into the polygon properties here under the shape layer, open it up. Let's go to the transform properties under the shape properties. We are not touching the transform properties of the layer itself. In these transform properties, same as we did with the circle, we need to reposition our triangle. First, let's zero it out so we know it's right in the center. I'm going to also zero out the Y property. Why don't we work on that gradient a little bit? It's really small. What I'll do, I'm going to go to the selection tool, and that should activate the gradient handle here, and just make it bigger and maybe reposition it up. You can reposition the center of the gradient to go like much higher, and just tweak it so it looks somewhat similar to the way on the video. Also, the shape of this is still not correct. I think we have to go back and tweak the shape. We can do it in the shape scale property. The first thing we need to do is maybe decrease the size of this triangle. And another thing, let's unlink the X and Y properties of the scale, and let's just shrink it down a little bit. The X property, decrease the value so it becomes taller. Maybe we can increase the Y property a little bit. Yeah, that's about the size we wanted. The last thing I want to do is actually again reposition this shape. Basically, I would like the bottom of it touching the center of the composition. That will make my life easier when we start to put the 3D shapes together. It's always good to start from the center instead of later try to reposition things using the anchor point or figuring out what the offset is. This will make sense after we start to put the clock arm and face together. Let's go to the position property again, and all we need to do is just change the Y. This is X and this is Y. So now I'm just changing the property, and so it's right there in the middle on that crosshair. And the last thing, as we did it with the clock face, we have to do also with the clock arm. Let's bring in the texture. This will be exactly the same procedure. I'm going to just collapse all the properties of the shape here and bring in the paper texture, command slash. Actually, the size of it almost matching to what I need. I'm just going to move it up a little bit, and I'm going to move the paper below the shape layer in my timeline panel, and we have the track matte mode visible. So now I just need to change it to the alpha matte. Again, we need to make the top layer visible and make sure that the top layer is switched to the multiply. So now we have that gradient visible.